only Impact Wrestling would waste the final segment of their episode on Jeremy Borash and Josh Matthews. Let's get into it.
And now you're watching Around the Point on YouTube.com. Here's your host, Heel Steven.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, your boy Heel, back at it again. Thank you all for watching this video. This is another episode of Around the Point. This time it's going to be an Impact Wrestling review for April the 6th, 2017. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit it with a big old thumbs up, and share this throughout all your social media. Overall, I thought Impact Wrestling this week was a very okay show. But I want to hear from you guys down below with your thoughts on the show. Did you enjoy it or not? All that fun stuff. But the one thing that really got to me here is the placement of certain things on the show. From the last man standing match up to Jeremy Borash and Josh Matthews arguing and bickering and placing where they picked their teams on the show. The show kicked off right off the bat with Eli Drake versus Caleb Conley, which I thought overall was an okay match for what it was. Caleb Conley got some offense in, and it seemed like he was going to win and all. But Tyrus attacked Caleb Conley while Drake had the referee distracted and then hit his finisher for the 1-2-3 win. So Eli Drake got the win here, and I thought overall, in my honest opinion, Eli Drake deserves better. In my opinion, he should not be relegated to these, type of matchups, what have you. To me, he should be already in the mix for the world title. If he's not involved in the world title picture by Slammiversary or next year Bound for Glory, I don't know. But in my personal opinion, he should not be put in these spots, if you will. Then we had an argument and bickering and bitching and moaning of Josh Matthews and Jeremy Borash. And apparently, Bruce Pritchard calls them both into the ring. And he said, you know what, I'm tired of all this shit. I'm sick of it. I think all of us in general are sick of this because I think, for what it is just annoying. And he says that they're going to solve it in the ring. Jeremy Borash picks a team, Josh Matthews picks a team, and those two teams go at it next week. And then Pritchard made them both shake hands. And here's the thing about it. I think Josh Matthews' heel work is him trolling the internet. And I think he's working it to a fucking T. Don't get me the fuck wrong. But I don't feel like this should drag on into the entire show. I feel like you should build up to this. You shouldn't rush it right away. I feel like it was only yesterday where Josh Matthews went on that my little YouTube video for Impact where he said, hey, I am the greatest commentator in the world. And the heel turn just happened. I feel like, again, you should build this up, stretch this shit out. I'd say until Slammiversary, in my honest opinion. But I want to hear from you guys down below. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like they should drag this a little more? Do you feel like it was rushed? Let me know down below. We had a Knockouts Gauntlet match where the winner became the new #1 contender for the Knockouts champion, Rosemary. And for what it was a standard Knockouts, Gauntlet style match. The final three, I believe, were Madison Rayne, ODB, and I can't believe why she's even in the final three here, Brandy. And here's the thing about Brandy, I feel like she's still stale to me. Is there room for improvement? Yes, I do believe that. But I feel like they rushed her into TV right away without having her gain experience, gain training. And I said this a while back in a video. I feel like they just signed Cody's wife, and just to please Cody Rhodes, hey, we'll put your wife on TV, we'll make her a competitor, and that's fine if she wants to wrestle, but she needs to learn and get trained right before being put on TV. That's just my honest opinion. But it was down to Madison Rayne and ODB, and at the end, it was all said and done, ODB got the win, so I'm pretty sure next week we'll end up seeing ODB versus Rosemary for the Knockout Championship, and hopefully, just hopefully, Rosemary retains here. Because there's no reason you should have Rosemary drop the belt to old-timer ODB. I'm sorry, but that's just how I see it. You should not bring back these old fossils just so they can go over, your talent that's been there for a while now. In this case, Rosemary. We had James Storm in the ring. He talked about how the Cowboy is back and how, I think a week or so, his son was wearing his own cowboy hat, and he said, hey, I'm a cowboy just like my father. James Storm also said that, hey, when he won the world title many, many years ago from Kurt Angle, it was one of the highest rated segments on the show, or moments of the show. And he promises to once again become the TNA World Champion. I'm sorry, the Impact Wrestling World Champion. Out comes Eddie Kingston and Bram, and they pretty much called him a liar, or what have you. And Bram went on to stomp on the old DCC mask. And then James Storm goes on and say, hey, listen, when I made this group, I wanted real men. If I wanted bitches, I would have gone a Tinder and swipe left, which ended in a brawl where James Storm prevailed and ended up beating both Eddie Kingston and Bram. So yeah, old James Storm is back. Sorry about your damn luck. And here's the thing about this too. It's a shame because I feel like there's potential with this group. I remember when they debuted, they attacked the Hardys, and it seemed like, hey, maybe, just maybe, Eddie Kingston and Bram would go after the tag title, but you make James Storm that leader as the world champion. You put him in that picture, if you will. Same thing I thought when he was part of the Revolution. Remember that back in the day? But instead, you had James Storm in the middle of the card here, just doing whatever. And then out of nowhere, in this case, the DCC became an afterthought almost. It was in the middle of the card, nothing happening. Did they even win a tag team title? No, they haven't, because it was, because of the Broken Hardys. But still, you kind of get where I'm going with this. So in a way, I'm happy that this faction is done, but at the same time, it's kind of a shame that Impact Wrestling didn't get them to their full potential, what they could have been. We had a triple threat X Division match, where the winner become the #1 contender to face champion Trevor Lee for the X Division Championship. Mark A. Roche, I apologize if I botched the name, Andrew Everett, and Suicide. Overall, I thought this match was your typical three-way X Division style match. For what it was, I feel like all three guys here got their stuff in, and at the end, when it was all said and done here, Andrew Everett got the win, which I thought made sense because, hey, you're continuing this feud with Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett, this whole dysfunction of the Helms Dynasty. But again, this goes back to what I said earlier in the video. I really wish TNA would have a free preview or something where they could have these big matches coming up. In my honest opinion, I understand the pay-per-view is still in July. At Davey Richards versus Eddie Edwards in a last man standing match. This, honestly, was the best match on the show. This, in my opinion, should have closed the show. See, it's big stipulation matches that should end your show, period, in my opinion. Not some fucking team announcement between two schmucks that are Jeremy Borash and Josh Matthews. But nonetheless, like I said, this match was fucking amazing. They fought all over the arena. You even had Angelina Love and Eddie Edwards' wife going at it outside the ring. Davey Richards, at the end of this whole match, had a chain tied up around his boot. He was about to kick Eddie's head in. Before he does that, he hesitates, has second thoughts. Angelina Love tells him to do it, but he wouldn't do it. So then she grabbed Davey's hands, puts it on her chest, and then kisses him on the lips. And then Davey kicks Eddie on the head with the chain around his boot for the 10 count, and it was over. Again, like I said, great match. Awesome. But I wish this would have closed the show. Or like I said earlier again, I wish they would have had a free preview where you had this big match. Not just on a regular episode of Impact where it's on the middle of the show. Just stupid decisions by the booking team here in Impact Wrestling, in my personal opinion. But that's around the point. But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you feel like this should have closed the show? Do you feel like they should have waited for a free preview? Because I know the pay-per-view not till fucking July. But I'm just saying, let me know down below with your thoughts about all of this. This is Around the Point. I'm your host, Heel Steven. You can follow me on Twitter at Heel Steven, Snapchat, also over at Instagram at Heel Steven. We had El Patron versus Tim Bolin, your typical local job guy. The match didn't go long. Patron got the win, like I knew he was going to do. And then he grabbed the mic, tried to call out Bobby Lashley for a fight. We had a backstage segment with Ali and Braxton Sutter. They run into Sienna and KM. Sienna pretty much tells him, hey, you guys are cowards for into Karen Jarrett the way you guys did. Which then Karen Jarrett announced right there on the spot that next week there'll be a mixed tag team match between Sienna and KM versus Braxton Sutter and Allie. And then we had, for some fucking reason, this was the closing segment of the show. Made zero fucking sense to me. The team picking of Team Jeremy Borash and Team Josh Matthews. So Team Josh Matthews consists of Bobby Lashley, the fucking world champion, being dragged into this bullshit, which is fucking ridiculous. Bram, Eli Drake, Tyrus came out with him for some reason. Pritchard was like, hey, we called out Eli Drake, not Tyrus. But he was there anyway. But then, at the same time, Jeremy Borash's team consisted of, at this moment, Alberto El Patron, Chris Adonis, a.k.a. Chris Masters, and then the 4 guys from Team Matthews went to attack Alberto El Patron and Chris Adonis. And as all this is happening, outside the ring, Jeremy Borash grabs the mic and says, the third member of Team Borash is none other than, and the music's hitting while this is happening too, the Blueprint, Matt Morgan. And Matt Morgan runs out to the ring, takes out mostly everyone from Team Josh Matthews with boots and just maneuvers, and then to no avail because then he gets attacked and ambushed. There's a car that pops up outside of the impact zone, and they close the show like that. It's like, oh, if you want to find out who the 4th member of Team Jeremy Borash, because oh my god, Jeremy Borash is so fucking special, right? Tune in to ImpactWrestling.com for more information and shit like that. And he played his video footage on their .com site because they want fuckers to go on this site, because I'm sure there's some fucking sale on Shop Impact Wrestler. Down with had these fucking insane deals going as we fucking speak. The 4th member of Team Jeremy Borash ended up being GFW World Champion Magnus, aka Nick Adonis. I'm fucking still calling him Magnus. And they fucking made a big deal out of this shit. Oh, the first GFW World Champion. Motherfucker, he's the only fucking GFW champion. Come on, what the fuck? Get it right, people. Seriously. And they had the brawl, what have you. At the end, Team JB stood in the ring tall. And yeah. Again, a stupid way to close the show, in my honest opinion. They should have had the last man standing match close the show. End of the fucking day. There's no way you guys can defend that this shit was the final segment of the show. But that's overall my thoughts on Impact Wrestling. An okay show for what it was, with just bad misplacement of segments and matches. But that's around the point. Drop your comment down below with your thoughts on the show. Did you enjoy it or not? I want to hear from you guys. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven, Instagram, and also over at Snapchat. Make sure you like all my videos, and as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, it's your boy Heel, and this was Around the Point.